Okay, folks, this is my first video. It's gonna be the first video because in the first video that I recorded, I was basically just talking about some random stuff, and I thought it might be smarter to start with what is this channel about? What is the name about, and why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Well, probably because I'm narcissistic. No, hopefully not. Um, but I kind of like having these videos and then watching back on them 2 years later. So, still, this is just gonna be me talking shit in English. And also, I kind of did not tell anyone who I am. So expecting anyone to watch this besides me, who knows? My name's Ada. I'm from Germany. I'm living in Mexico right now. I'm planning to live still in a lot of different countries in this world. I'm a dancer, I'm a singer. I'm gonna call this channel Living for the Plot. Why is that? Because I'm basically living for the plot. That is my life philosophy right now. That's what I'm doing. So, living for the plot, I think it's kind of self explaining. Basically, every time that I'm scared to do something, especially in terms of speaking my truth, speaking about my feelings, telling people I like them, I don't like them, whatever, well, I do it for the plot. Or sometimes when I'm like, this is kind of stupid, I shouldn't do it, I'm like, but if I don't do it, I'm never gonna know what the plot of this story is gonna be like. So this is basically what I'm doing right now, living for the plot. Basically, how this thing got kind of intense in my life is the day that I decided, like genuinely decided to write a book about my life. I know that kind of sounds very self-centered at the first time, but hear me out, because this decision that I made changed my life for the better, like 100%. So, first of all, I love writing. I've been writing my whole life, and I always wanted to write a book. I never really did it, never really put it in, like, because I also didn't know what to write about. And then at some point, I was like, you know what? I'm like very intensely collecting all my memories, like everything. I've been writing diary ever since I could write, so I have all of this and a lot. It's a lot. I have everything documented, and I was like, I don't know what to write about, but honestly, I feel like my life is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel my life is very interesting, and since I'm living for the plot, I try to make every day interesting as well. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna write a book about my life at some point in my life. And why did that make my life better? Because just the whole philosophy of doing stuff for the plot worked out really well with that mindset, because now I'm like, you know what? Why would anyone ever want to read a book about my life? Like, what the fuck? You need to do something for it. Like, not in terms of being unauthentic and doing weird stuff that I wouldn't want to do normally, but in terms of doing the things that normally I would be too scared to do, or I would feel too uncomfortable to do. So this is all about going out of the comfort zone, and I feel like I've always been a person who kind of went out of the comfort zone a lot, and I always was struggling actually with the urge to be so truthful with people and just like communicate way too directly, even though they were not always prepared for it. But now I feel like it got even worse. Like, I do that even more now. Just this thing, like the philosophy of doing it for the plot is asking yourself, if my life was a series, a movie right now, what would the audience want me to do? What would they beg me to do in front of the screen? Like, finally say it! Why don't you say it? Why don't you tell him? Why don't you do that? All of that stuff. So I say that. I tell him and I do that. Usually, most of the times. And a lot of times, it goes really well. So I thought it would just be like showing that actually no one's gonna die, nothing bad is gonna happen by just going out of the comfort zone. And I think in the end, what all of this is about is getting out of your own mind cage. Cage. Like, first of all, realizing that you put yourself in a cage and then getting out of it. And I think that is my whole way of life. Like, what's it going around what's it about, to get my own freedom and just like stop caring so much what other people think. So this is the combination of doing it for the plot, not giving a shit, and see what happens. So yeah, here we are in Mexico, philosophizing about life, learning new stuff every day, failing and stuff every day, hating and loving myself every day. um, so let's see where it brings us.